Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little different. I've started kind of releasing a few extra things here and there, and we've started streaming a little bit around this time on the channel. But I've been super heavy into REPO, and I've been trying to like give little tips and tricks and kind of go through the thought process on stream. But you know, some people come in late, some people come in early, and miss something that happens later on, or you know, don't get the whole lot of information. And a lot of people are interested in playing REPO, especially solo. Solo repo is something that is actually pretty fun. It's not like a lot of other extraction games where it's way better with a group. I mean, this is a better game if you play it with a group, or it's intended to be played with a group for sure. But there is a single player built-in feature. It is very good, and I actually love the challenge of playing solo. We're going to do solo vanilla. It's fun with mods, it's fun vanilla, it's fun. Just Repo's just a great kind of overall game, but I wanted to go through the thought process and kind of share some things I do on the solo runs, because a lot of people have been asking. And also, if you have any questions about something that you want to see gone over in more detail, or you want to see something else with Repo that I could potentially show, like, I'll make a video and just run through it as soon as possible, because I love this game. I play it all the time. I play it on stream, and we could either do it in the live stream, or I could just make another recording of it. But I figured I'd go through a few of these here and there and just kind of show like little things that might help out with the Repo runs. But we're going to jump into single player. I have no internet for some reason right now, but luckily the game still works offline. Nothing else I tried to record today will work offline. As you can see, we have crashed into Swift Broom. This is where we will start, and right off the bat, I'll tell you that I absolutely love Swift Broom. This is my favorite map. I like it because these rooms and these doors are nice and wide open. It's just super easy to get around. There's always, like, I'd say almost always, if not always, a cauldron. So if we have a duck, we can kill the duck, grab some orbs off of him. And I'm going to just play this straight up. I've never seen a plate just spawn on the floor like that. That's actually crazy. But I'm just going to play this straight up. I'm not going to edit things out. I'm not going to change things around. I know, like, some people love to see, you know, only the success and everything like that, but it's not realistic. So if we die, I'll tell you why we died and what we could have done different. If we live, well, then we lived. The first couple of rounds, I like to try to be as perfect as possible. If you don't know, when you extract money in this game, it rounds down every time. So like if we extract, let's say, $9,999 of stuff, it will round down to $9,000, even though we're just $1 off of 10,000. So we lose a whole lot if we don't have it rounded up. So I try to make sure I don't break a thing. And that way, we get our best possible chance of having the most money maxed out. Now, here's a couple of things right here. This is going to help on the museum map when you don't have a lot of jumps. You can actually use the back of this cart to kind of leverage yourself up here. You slide around a little bit, so be careful if you're on there. I also think it is a little more dangerous because you don't know exactly where you're going to land, but you can just kind of like pull back and up, and that way anything fragile on the top, like if you just walk right back and point up slightly, you can kind of correct it so you don't hit the top of that, you don't hit the bottom of that when you fall down. I also like to just kind of jump and do the same thing and let the momentum just carry you backwards. Definitely something to practice, but it's not too bad. It's not like some crazy technique or anything. There's a lot, I've seen a lot of people do some wild stuff in this game, and it's just like, y'all, I have no chance. There's just no way I'm doing that kind of stuff on here. Let's see. So we got this thing. Like I said, I usually go over this stuff on the stream too. You know, people are like, oh, how do you play this solo? It's like, I get scared of everything, but one thing I love is just extracting games and extracting things, and just enjoying, you know, what I can possibly get out of the shop. It's nice, like, collecting things like that. This ball you can pick up even with no strength. But sometimes cubes and vases spawn on top of these, and they're too heavy to move by yourself with no strength, so kind of the same principle. Just throw it in your cart, move it over to the extraction. To maximize as much as you can with each extraction, it's nice to stage a large item inside the extraction and then also outside. This will set it off, so I'm just going to try to lift this up and over. But like if you are pushing a cube or a vase or something pretty big across the floor, you could just pull it right in, and it won't set it off, of course, until you have the money over top of the threshold. What I also like to do is, like, let's say this was close to the threshold. Let's say we were at like 8,000 something. I have another large item. Just put it right in front. And we'll go through that later, but you can literally push an item in and then have your cart ready to go and just throw that in right next to it so you can maximize as much profit as possible. I have no idea what the items, yeah, I know what the items are. They're in my cart. I have no idea what the enemies are. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything. We got a door open, so something's been walking around in here. First level, only 2 enemies spawn. A big enemy and a small enemy. So something like a Trudge, a Clown, a Stabitha, you know, they're all like... Oh, we got a duck. Okay, okay. That's good. That's real good. Yeah, come here, duck. Oh, we have a clown. Okay. Clown sees me. I don't really care about that, though, to be fair. I just wanted the duck's attention. If the clown lasers, dude, it's not even a problem. Like, just wait until he starts shooting, and then just duck right under it. Problem we're going to have is if the duck gets in the way or if he decides to smash an item. Now, he will go right for your cart, too. So you got to be careful with that cart. I think if the clown kind of leaves... Yeah, we'll just jump, point at the cauldron, and keep looking. The duck goes in here. Same with the toilets, too. Ow. That doesn't happen often, but it happened this time. Where are you? Oh, come on. Alright. So that's what I'm saying about the laser. Like, if you just jump over his kicks and let him, you know, shoot his laser wherever he wants to. I'll try to line him up and show you real quick, too. Come here, clown. Here. Yeah, see, look. He levels it out like that. You can just duck under it. And let's say you accidentally, like, you know, duck too early. You can jump over his laser when he points it down at you, too. So, really not a big deal. He's the large enemy on here. And what I was saying before we found the duck is that level 1 and level 2, you always have one large enemy and one small enemy. And so here's our boy. He's the large one. And our duck, of course, was the small enemy. Now, the thing is, I want him to despawn. If you get a couple of rooms away from him, he will despawn, and you can pick up where you left off. Since he is so close, though, I want to be as careful as possible. I don't want him to, like, follow me. He is laser guided to your cart, too. I hate that about him. That's the worst thing about the clown, is he travels pretty quick, so trying to make your cart, like, more safe is tougher around him. Alright, but we're doing alright. We're doing alright. There's a couple of large items on top there. Not large items. They're just more fragile items on top there. They're higher up is what I was getting confused about. But to teach you how to freaking do repo solo runs, and I'm not even going to know how to talk. It's pretty typical. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of good resources out there to kind of learn some tips and tricks with repo, but I just love this game so much. It was, one, a nice excuse to play it, and two, I literally had, you know, people asking, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's like, you know what? Let's just put a level 1 and 2 tutorial out there. Kind of show the basics. See, look, I'm using the cart again. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, if you're on the edge here, you see it, how you, like, slide a little bit? It's because that's not flat. You get a little more height there, but it's not flat, so you kind of slide a little bit. Make sure you're stable on there before you try to grab anything, because the worst thing that could happen is you're just standing there grabbing at the item, and then you slide off for no reason. It's pretty frustrating. Okay, he's just chilling. But as you saw, that duck, you know, he goes in the cauldron or a toilet. As far as I know, there's no way to really kill him easily on the museum map. I think the lasers can do it after like 4 or 5 rounds of stunning him, and he just doesn't stay stunned for long enough to slam him on the floor. In the toilet and in the cauldron, he'll stay stunned long enough where you'll actually be able to slam him on the ground, and that's how you get him killed. Get a little Zelda flute right there. Okay, so we got an item under the bed here. Now check this out. Sometimes people will like grab at the item from under here, and you can grab at it if you're outside and on the same level and kind of just gently slide it out, but that's also a little risky. You don't know where you really are in space and time, especially with this lip here under a lot of the beds. If you go under here and you try to pull it out like this, see that little like bump up you have? You could stay perfectly crouched, but you have low crouch and high crouch, and it automatically sends you up, which will send usually the item up here, and you can kind of correct it, but it's so fast. So what I like to do is just push it out like that. Like I'll grab the item and just kind of on the same level push it out, and then look up, so when that little bump up happens, it doesn't even affect anything. You literally just go out, and your item stays nice and safe. Alright, this should be the last room we really have to check. That octagonal room, or is it... I think it's either a hexagon or an octagon. I didn't stop and count the sides, but you know what I'm talking about. The next room over, it might have some more stuff up top, and we'll go up there. We'll show you some cauldron launch stuff in a second. Okay, apparently I can't walk through there. That's fine. Just go around here. All right, what do we have in here? 24,600. Now our quota is 8,800 up there. So usually that signifies around $30,000 of stuff. What we have is we have about 28,000 rounded down because, like I say, that doesn't count up. So we'll have you know, an extra $300 that just will go to nothing. So we're missing some stuff, it feels like, on this map, and it might be in the next room. We also have that duck orb in there, which is about 2,600 or so, 2,300. So we're really missing a lot of stuff on here. There should be something else around here, and it's worth checking for sure. My fear is that there's something big up top here. The only problem with Swift Broom, especially on the first couple of levels, is that something big could be spawning up top there. Now, because of this right here, almost $3,000 of stuff, there probably won't be anything up there. Or at least not anything, you know, worth grabbing. But a problem with Swift Broom is that up here, sometimes a cube will spawn, and on the first couple levels, when you have 0 strength, you're not touching that cube. There's no way. I mean, you might be able to rotate it out. Yeah, so we got the good balcony set up with the little shelf here that you can jump into this balcony as well. So a little item up here. That might set us over even higher. Yeah, look at that. So we have 3,700 back in the extraction already. That's going to put us at 800 below or over that threshold. So if we found even just another small item, $500, $600 item, we could totally get an extra $1,000 for the shop. But that's a huge amount of money right there. I wouldn't mind seeing a duck spawn again and grabbing him. However, we have not made any noise. We haven't done anything to limit the respawn timers at all. And if you make noise with a lot of these items, like when you see the TV come on or the grandfather clock chime, the music box, anything that makes noise, any instruments, it'll drastically reduce the respawn timers of the enemies. So if you kill them, it goes down from like 15 minutes to less each time noise is made. And if they respawn naturally or despawn naturally, then it's a significantly less timer for them to respawn and pop up kind of anywhere. But it'll make them spawn, and it'll ping them to come to your location. So I'm just going to check around for any little item right now. This cauldron right here, the cauldron launch, if you just look at where you want to go and walk backwards, it launches you in that direction. See how it goes up there? Now, if I didn't look up there, let's say I walk forward or something, it just shoots me back. It's just not, it's not going to respond in any way unless you're, like, actually walking backwards and looking up there. Yeah, see, because that just shot me straight up. Was that the clown over there? I think that was the clown over there. Yep, it is. So he's back. He's terrorizing the place again. We're going to do another quick sweep. We didn't damage a single item. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, perfect. So, as long as the clown doesn't lock onto me. That frog is worth quite a bit usually, over 1,000 or close to 1,000. I've seen them almost $2,000 even. So that'll be great for even more money. And I mean, this is a great run so far. Anything around that $9,000 quota, you're going to see 30 plus thousand usually. And no exception here. Another crown too. Let's go. See, this is why it's good to sweep again, just because if you have the time and you have the patience, which I usually don't, but if you have the time and the patience, I mean, you could find all kinds of stuff that you might have missed. And, you know. Oh. So he's just not even a threat sometimes. And I'm sorry, clown, you just really are not a threat. Like, if I saw a Stabatha on here, or a Hunter or something, oh man, that'd be the worst. On the first couple of levels, you can barely even hear the Hunter, and then, you know, Stabatha, same deal, she's all quiet. Alright. So yeah, we're looking pretty nice right now. I'm gonna get that frog, and hopefully the duck respawns too soon. I think, like I say, they have a 15-minute respawn timer, especially after the first kill, but I'm just really hoping that, look at this frog, $1,500, let's go. That's awesome. I'm really hoping that it's getting close to that respawn timer, because I'd love another duck orb. If we had, like, things that make a lot of noise, like this made a little noise, so it probably just barely affected the timer, not really too much. We could totally get a duck to spawn here. Also, the thing with the frog and a lot of the items on the museum, like the car and the plane, you can't just drop them into the cart. So if you ever have these on, like, a high shelf or something, you cannot just drop it into a cart. You'll have to actually put it in the cart, because these guys tend to, you know, jump around and flop around, and the car drives away, the plane flies away. Like, they made some funny, like, trolley items in the museum map, and this one, I think, kind of set that in motion. I've dropped these from, like, high up, and they just immediately start jumping around and stuff, and that's what usually triggers them to jump around. So if you ever have this frog item just randomly start jumping on you, it's because it's not in the cart, or it was dropped or something like that. So look at that. We got $30,000 in here, and now we're at that point again where we'll be at $33,900 when we extract. So we're $100 off of the next threshold for $1,000 extra, which is huge on the first shop. You know, if you get a good first shop, you know, you need that money. You don't want to be missing out on anything. So I'm going to just do a quick scan for a duck again. I really hope he respawns. I don't want to sit here and just wait for the duck. Because, you know, it's... Like I said, I don't usually have a lot of patience, so it's kind of a waste of time. But just in case there's a crown or a freaking Zelda flute or something around here that I can grab. This room, check behind the doors. If you have doors open, like, they'll open like that. And sometimes, like, stuff spawns right behind these doors, so you just got to make sure you're always looking at that. But yeah, Swift Room is just so great. You see how open this place is? If this was a clown on, like, Headman Manor, and we got caught in a hallway or something, yo, there's just no chance. It would not be great. Would not be great for anybody. I still think it's hilarious. Like, I was trying to record some of the series I've been doing, some of the long-running series, and you can't do anything online anymore. You can't do anything unless you're signed in. I tried to do Skyrim. I tried to do a lot of things on the Xbox. You know, the Halo, Duke Nukem, all kinds of stuff. And they're like, no, you got to be signed in. You got to be online. It's like, really? Great. Okay, well, I'm not, so... This one, it said it might not save my progress, but, you know, who cares? It's just kind of a tutorial run thing. Yeah, I don't think the duck's going to spawn anytime soon. We killed him pretty early on when we saw him, so his timer's probably... You know what's going to happen? I'm going to push that into the extraction. He's just going to waddle up right next to me. But it's okay. That was a huge run. 33,900. Every item taken. No items broken. A duck killed. Like, that was a very, very good run. And that's why I say I try to hit that perfection at the beginning, because you just never know. Like, if I broke $100 worth of stuff and I missed out on 1,000 because of that, that would be heartbreaking, you know what I mean? And I've had it really close where I've just chipped something. Like, $5-6 off an item, and I missed the whole threshold by $5 or $6. It's tough. That's a great start, though. A lot of money. My favorite map. Let's see what the shop's looking like. Oh, right off the bat, we got a strength. So this is going to be a good thing to go over. And you want strength. You definitely want strength. At least one, but you know, you want up to 4 right away. And I'll go over that more probably next time, because we're getting a little... Okay, that's just going to be there. We're getting a little long right now. I'm just going to go over the shop real quick. You want to see maybe a trank gun, some strength, health would be nice. Cheaper crystals. You don't need them if you're not going to buy a weapon, but you might want to stock up. Maybe a health pack if you want something extra. We'll go over this in detail next time, though, and then we'll pick it up on round 2 and see what happens. But, guys, thank you all for hanging out. Like I say, if you want any more, like, tips and things, if you want to see something in the next part or any other parts, like, let me know, and I'll respond in the comments, too, but also I will just keep making videos on Repo because I love this game, and I love when people play it and have a good time with it. But anyway, have a great time, enjoy the games, and I will see you in the next one.